rolling. All right, what's up, everybody? Welcome back to today's progress. Yesterday's plan. We are on episode 8. Yes, episode 8. I'm all lost all over the place here. We're on episode 8. I'm excited coming off of episode 7. If you listen to it, I had my first guest, and I'm still stoked off of that because I had Dayvee Sutton on the show, and we had a really cool conversation about how she got to the place she is today. Dayvee Sutton is a successful journalist. She's a travel and environmental journalist, and she's a national correspondent. It has appeared like on CNN, Dr. Oz, a bunch of different TV shows as an expert, travel and lifestyle expert. And I met Dayvee on a press trip traveling in Yucatan. And from there, we've been on other trips together to Banff, Canada. Our last trip was to Fiji, and then the pandemic happened. But if you didn't hear episode 7, go back, give it a listen. There's a lot of really good gems in there, good tips, good advice from Dayvee, and how to achieve our goals and how to set our focus and our mindset to that, and how to deal with obstacles and to stick to our path, right? And so I'm very excited to come back to episode 8, and I want to touch on some things that were takeaways for me from the conversation with Dayvee. And I do want to add that give it a listen if you like it. If you're interested in coming on the show with me, reach out to me. I think I'd like to open up this platform to others to come on and speak about anything, right? It's all going to come back to making plans, making our goals into realities, right? Achieving our goals and not just having dreams, right? So I'll be touching on those things in today's episode as well. Hey, it's January 22nd. We're 2 days into the new administration. Congratulations to our new president, and congratulations to our new and first ever woman and African-American vice president, which is a historical moment. I know things are tough. Maybe you don't agree with me and whatever. What I'll just say before we get into any political stuff is I hope our president does a good job. And that's it. I hope he brings the country back together and does a good job and brings us forward. Trump gave it a go. Whether you think he did or didn't, we have a new president. And I hope that we make good strides moving forward. And with that said, I want to make good strides moving forward today. I have, my jaw's kind of sore today, not today, right now, because as I was setting up the studio here, if you're watching, you could see the studio setup here. If you're listening, just so you know that, I have a little setup here. This also, if you're listening on Spotify or Amazon Music or your favorite place to listen to podcasts, I also broadcast this on YouTube. So there's a little visual shot that you could see here. But as I was setting it up, my GoPro was laying on the desk, and I was like, I'm going to do a POV as I set up really quick for the podcast. And I don't have a mount to exactly do a POV. I have a chest mount that I like to use, and I use that for my walking tours. You could catch those on Wednesdays on my YouTube channel, Sharcario. I walk around and tour and do commentary in different parts of Mexico City. So if that interests you, you'll catch those every Wednesday. But I didn't want to use the chest mount because it only has one shot forward, right? And I wanted to get the POV of what I'm looking at as I set up. So I took the GoPro. If you're watching, you could see here. And I took one of the basic mounts it has, and I tried to hold it in my mouth. And it was kind of hard. It kept slipping out. So I threw some tape on there and paper and made this makeshift, I don't know what to call it, mouthpiece. And I filmed it like that. But it wasn't holding too well. The tape was coming off, so I was squeezing it harder and breathing all hard. And so now my mouth is kind of sore. Kind of like if you sleep and you grind your teeth and you wake up. I don't do that, but it's been described to me that you get like a headache and your jaw hurts. So I feel like that. And it's funny because my wife today was complaining about that. She's like, oh, my jaw hurts and my head hurts. And she does grind her teeth at night. So I hope we could fix that for her. But so as I was doing the POV and setting up for you guys to see, I noticed that everything around me is kind of messy. Like I have a lot of stuff out. All my papers are out. There's batteries here that I need to charge and things. And I was like, oh, everything's a mess. And I don't want to let that clutter get to me. So I'm going to clean it up. I like to have a clean space so I could think cleanly, focus, get all my notes done. But it makes me excited too that like I'm getting things done, right? Knocking out, I guess, to-do lists. Or I heard today a really cool podcast, or it was a vlog. It was an old vlog, but it was mentioning how like winning battles daily, right? Multiple battles. And so I feel like I'm winning battles, right? And it goes along with something Dayvee said in the last episode. But like winning small battles and setting ourselves up to be disciplined, right? If we want to be productive, the way they put it in this podcast. And I was listening to a Casey Neistat interview with, I forgot his name. You guys might know. He was a Navy SEAL. And it was about waking up at 4:30 and why it's good to wake up at 4:30. And they went on to a lot of other things. But my main takeaway from that, which again goes back to what Dayvee was saying, is like winning multiple battles. And the way Dayvee put it was recognizing the wins, right? And striving for the wins. And they could be small wins. They could be small battles because they lead to bigger ones. They lead to us feel productive. They lead for us feeling some sort of achievement. And if, we start off winning battles being, for example, in this episode, they were talking about waking up at 4:30. And I don't wake up that early. I try to wake up at 6:30. Today I woke up close to 7. And I actually woke up a little before 6:30. I was laying there. So I feel like I was already losing that battle from laying there. I'm a little more awake. I grabbed my phone. It was like 6:28. And I was like, okay, my alarm hasn't gone off. So I'm going to just lay here and it's comfortable. I started looking at my phone. And so I'm losing that battle for me of productivity and starting the day. And so it says like Dayvee says, acknowledging the wins, acknowledging those wins of those battles, right? Like I should have got up. If I'm awake, it's hard, but get up. Like I should have just jumped out of bed and started doing my day, started being productive. I like to get up. I like to go for a walk. So I go straight to make the coffee. I make coffee for myself and Ilana. And I come and leave hers by her bedside because she's still sleeping. And then I wake up Pika, our dog, and I wake her up because if I don't, she's going to lose that battle as well. And she likes to stay in bed and sometimes looks at me or makes noises. But I'm like, hey, get up, let's go. And we go for a walk. And it's anywhere from like 30 to 45-minute walk. I start to recite my affirmations as I walk, or I listen to a productive podcast, and I'm just thinking, right? Sometimes just in memories, right? Sometimes I think back to moments, and it's just a cool time to reflect in the morning. I see other people that get up early and they're running and things like that, and sometimes I'm like, oh, you should be running, not walking. But we have multiple battles in our days, right? So then I think it's okay because around 10:30, 11, you're going to work out. And that's when I run, and that's when I get my workouts in. And so it's just winning those battles, right? Like accomplishing the things we want to accomplish. And one thing that has really helped me is, and I've mentioned it before, is writing things down, putting them in my calendar, journal, my to-do list, whatever we want to call it. But I've been putting things on paper now and then speaking them out and saying them. So I woke up today a little late, but I got out there, walked, I worked out already. That was a battle for me and a win because I haven't worked out for like 5 days, more than 5 days. And I'm starting to feel the effects of not following through with something small like my workouts. Once you're like in a routine, it's easy, right? Do you ever, start going to the gym regularly? At first it's hard. It's hard to start getting into a routine like that. But once you're in it, it's routine and like you get with it, right? But life happens all the time, and sometimes we can't, and sometimes things happen, and it's super easy to fall out of a routine. Why is that, huh? Like I always wondered, like, why is it so hard to start that and so easy to stop, right? So in those 5 days, I started noticing a little bit of me getting used to it. I was missing working out, missing running, and I got to the point where I didn't miss it so much. Yesterday we ran and I was stretching. I didn't feel like running most of the times, and I was to the point where I looked forward to it. I look forward to running. I feel great. I'm getting better, and I wasn't looking forward to it yesterday, but another battle won. I did it. I went for it. I actually beat my time, which was to me surprisingly after 5 days of not running, and jumped back on it and like almost by like 45 seconds, almost a minute per mile, which I don't know, was really surprising to me. But today, the same thing. I started my workout today, some calisthenics workouts, and it's like a muscle memory. Like I didn't get as weak as I thought I would get. In fact, I think I'm just as strong or a little bit stronger even on the exercises I did. Which to me, that tells me like, and I saw a meme or I saw a graph about this a while ago. If you guys are listening, you can imagine what I'm saying, right? So like we see our progress and imagine like a line graph, and the progress is moving forward, and it goes up, it starts to go up, and then it starts to plateau and move forward, and then you stop, right? And you imagine that we stop and we go back to where we started, right? Like we go backward and we have to start from zero again. And that's kind of what I kind of was thinking of me starting to work out again, is like, shoot, I'm going to be weaker. I can't do this stuff anymore. And the way that graph explained it is when you stop, it kind of plateaus and goes forward and it doesn't peak anymore. And when you start again, you go back up and you progress from there. You don't go backward, because those battles we've won and those things we've been achieving and the muscle memory or the tasks you have ahead of you that you're accomplishing, they set you up to where you're at that point, and they get you to where you're at that point. And so you don't need to move backwards. You start from where you left off. Sometimes it feels like zero, and we let that get to our heads and discourage us and maybe not pick back up what we were going to do. But don't think like that. Think that you're going to continue where you left off. Maybe it's not on the same timeline you would have liked, but you're not going backwards. So that's very important to know. So today was good like that. I picked back up. I have a shoulder injury, so I'm not progressing as fast as I'd like to. In fact, I'm consistently working out again, starting today. But I feel like I am kind of plateauing because I'm not peaking at certain exercises because my shoulder hurts. But I look forward to it feeling better and then start getting stronger, doing more sets, more movements that I'm doing and strength. And so good to be back on that battle. Another thing with that I'll add on to that, and I've been mentioning on the podcast, is like launching products, launching ideas, getting things done that you want to accomplish. And to some of you listening, and to some of my friends, if you're listening this far, is like just do it. Like make the time. Like find another takeaway I got from today's video is like find your hours of like non-productivity, right? We have all these hours in the day, but we don't have enough hours of the day, we like to say. But we could move our hours around. And I totally agree, and I've been practicing that too, is like find the hours of not being productive, move them to somewhere else, or use them for something else. Like we might be tired, we might not feel like it, but think of how much you want what you're set out to do. Like think of how much you're willing to sacrifice for that goal you want to achieve. And if you're not willing to sacrifice even though that time that you do have, that little time of like Netflix and chill for a couple hours, like don't Netflix and chill, and use that, even if it's just an hour, like an hour for something that you can do is going to progress you forward. So like don't hold yourself back. Like I'm happy and excited of the progress I've done, of the content I'm creating regularly. And some of you might say, if you've seen it, and I know some of you might say it's like not the best content, or not the best quality, or something to say like I shouldn't have put it out, focus more, make it, but I don't know. I'm not trying to like hold myself back. So I'm just going to keep doing it. And I hope it keeps getting better. And I'm finding these moments that like I pencil them in and like I do it. I get it done. Like I see it there and I say it to you and we speak it. Like I need to accomplish it, right? If I don't, it's personal accountability. Like I'm holding myself accountable. Like you said and you didn't, right? Instead of, I saw somebody, one of my friends posted a quote today too. I think it was on Instagram that was like, don't, like let your actions speak louder than your words. Be silent, and or something along those lines, right? Like don't say what you're gonna do, just do it. And that's cool. Like I used to think that. I don't anymore, because then if you don't say what you're gonna do, you're not accountable to it, unless you're very, very disciplined and have strong self-accountability. Me, I'm working on that. So I don't know how you are with that. If you're not, then it's more likely that you might not accomplish that thing you don't want to tell anyone about, because there's no accountability to it. You didn't tell no one. So it's not, I feel like it's not let your actions speak louder than words. I feel what it was doing to me before I changed was I'm not telling anybody about it. So if I don't do it, no one knows that I didn't do it except me, right? And that wasn't enough for me. Like now I'm saying things and I have to do them, because hopefully you might leave me a comment, or if you know me personally, you reach out to me and you say, yo, what happened? I was waiting for you to like blank, right? I have a goal right now to, I'm working on a new blog. Normally I just create a blog, publish it, and start like putting things on it and go with it. This time, like I'm kind of planning it a little bit more. I'm filling it with content, and I want to launch it by my birthday. If it's not fully completed to where I'd like, I'm still going to launch it on my birthday. Like I need to launch it. I said I'm going to launch it, and I'm going to. And if you're wondering, it's a blog called Mezcal Buzz. You could actually find the Instagram page already that I have a couple photos on there. And it's, you guessed it, it's about mezcal. Mezcal, if you don't know, it's an agave spirit. It's a liquor made from agave, like tequila, which technically you can say tequila is a mezcal. And I'll get into that on this blog, on this channel that I'll create, videos I'll be doing. So I have a lot of ideas. They're all in my book. I've written it in. I'm putting it out there. I'm telling you like ideas. Like I'm going to be coming out with videos for cocktails with mezcal. I'm going to be doing tastings every week that I can. Getting bottles and recommending different mezcales to you and to those who want to learn more about it, how to properly taste mezcal. I have a lot of friends that have had a bad experience maybe with mezcal. Maybe like some people say it smells like gasoline or it tastes like gasoline. And believe it or not, there is a technique and a proper way to taste and drink the different mezcales there are. And I want to share that, right? I want to make videos for that and recommend different mezcales. So there you go. I just put it out there. I told you my intent, my purpose, my reasoning. a deadline by which I want to launch that. And yeah, hold me accountable to it. Stay tuned and start seeing, right? So I'm going to be heading back to California this next month in February. If you guys may have known, I was going to be there this month, and I canceled my trip due to the pandemic. And yeah, so I'm going to be rescheduling it. I'm excited to see my brother, hang out with him, and work on things with my brother. I think I'll have him on as a guest on the podcast. I'm going to have to borrow his home studio and his home setup. He has some bottles that he took from Mexico when he came, and a bottle I took that I recommended for him. So I'd love to get him on and have tasting video with me. So again, I'm saying these things because I want to be accountable to them. Like, this is something that I really want. Like, I want that blog to do well. I want to get it done. I have an idea for an application to go with it. I haven't worked it quite out yet, so I'm not speaking so much on it, but I have the idea there, the intent's there. And so, like, please, if you're watching this far, like, engage me about it. Ask me about it. Like, let's talk. And if you want to work with me, let's do that. Like, that's the reason to speak things into existence, right? Accountability, and then you attract things to yourself. You attract people. You attract the people that think like you, that are trying to accomplish similar goals like you, that it creates synergy between those relationships. If you don't speak it out, how can you attract that to you? How is anybody going to know that, right? You now know that I'm working on this blog and that I'm working on creating this type of content for Mezcal coming up. So you might be too, or you might have some knowledge you want to share, or you might have some questions you want to ask that will help me in creating content. You might know somebody that could be helpful to me, or that I can be helpful to. And it's been out there now. Like, I own that idea, right? Maybe I share it with others. I haven't met them yet, and I hope I do. But when I say I own it, it's like, you've heard me say it. You know I'm working on it. So when someone speaks of something like that, you'll say, hey, my friend Marco is too. Or my friend Marco has something similar going on. You guys should link up. If I don't say it and I don't share that with you, how will that ever happen, right? I mean, things can happen and things could get done, and we could be like this whole like self-made person. But man, collaborating is the shit. Like, that easy, right? I mean, you get so much done. You reach so much more people. And doing things together, like, especially if it's something you're passionate about with others, it just feels so much better and so much more accomplished. So, yeah, I think I'm getting close on time, but I'm definitely glad I got to put that out there. Another thing is the product I've been working on here in Mexico that I want to launch, that I've also mentioned. I haven't said what it is yet because I don't have it in my hands, but when I do, you're going to see it. It's been getting pushed back, there's like little hiccups that keep happening. And I'm not getting discouraged. I'm not letting that stop me. I'm not letting the pandemic stop me, because we're moving forward. We're like this close. I already have 2 of them done. They were supposed to be shipped yesterday. They sent me some pictures, so I've seen them, and they're not ready. So they're working on it, and we're going to get it in our hands. And I'm going to share that with you. And I'm just excited about that. So that's another thing, like moving forward on ideas, and man, just get them done, guys. Like, if you have that internal dialogue with yourself and you have reasons that you're not moving forward on ideas, like, really look at those reasons and evaluate, are they really holding you back? Or are they going to hold you back? Or are you contemplating those reasons is what's holding you back, right? A friend of mine, like, commended me today. He gave me props like, yeah, you're putting stuff out there. I see what you're doing. I need to do that too. I'm excited about it, but like I'm just on a different level, and I want to, be more perfect on it, or I don't know, like there's a little something holding him back. And I get it. You want your content, you want your products, you want what you come out with to be good. But the first thing to be good at it, you got to like step out and do it. And then it's like a production process. Then there's quality control. And then there's like the product I'm working on now. We do it, and now things come up that we have to fix. Good, let's fix them. But if we don't move on it and we imagine the things that we're going to have to fix and start fixing them before it's even an issue, like we're never going to get product to launch, and we're never going to do it. So with that said, I'm running out of breath, and I'm excited to finish episode 8. Episode 9 next week. Stay tuned. I'm going to have another guest on soon. I don't know who it's going to be just yet. I have some people in mind. I'm thinking I want to get my friend Andre on here. He had launched a successful Amazon business and product and sold it recently for just over $500,000. And I'm really excited for him, happy for him. And I'd like to talk to him about that, because I'm sure that's an inspiring story we could all take something away from and get some advice and tips from him. And so stay tuned. If you want to hear that story and talk to my friend Andre, comment below. If you're listening, thank you so much for being here with me. Episode 8, today's progress, yesterday's plan. Make sure you're balancing your to-do list. And as always, I'll catch you guys next time.